My word for 2020. It took me zero time at all to figure out what my word for the year is. See if you can figure it out. I'll give you a few seconds to guess what you think my word might be while I introduce myself, and then we'll get to it. What's good, YouTube? I go by the name of Q. If you're unfamiliar, if you are familiar, shout out to you. Welcome back to the channel. I've never done this before, and I thought it was a cool idea. Actually, I've seen a couple videos. I've seen this over the years, but for the first time, I decided to actually implement the word of the year. My word for the year for 2020 is Parker. Now, for those who don't know, Parker is my daughter. She is 2 months old now, my firstborn, and she completely changed my life. She completely changed my life from the moment that my girlfriend and I found out that we were expecting. A switch just went off. A switch went off, and from that moment, I knew it. I just knew it. Like, I gotta do this for her. I got an adrenaline rush. Everything changed, and it was game time. I couldn't play no more games. Not that I was playing games to begin with, but I had to take it to another level. I am very big on family. I'm a family first, family oriented type of guy. So my daughter's first name is actually my mother's maiden name. Yes, my deceased mother, her last name is Parker, and I felt like, what better way to honor her than to name my daughter after her? So I guess you could say I added some extra pressure on myself, but for good reason. That's the type of thing that I need personally. And in order to get things done, you have to have a why. You hear that a lot. You have to have a why. You have to have a reason. And for this, you have to have a word, my word being Parker. I feel like that's kind of like a cheat code. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bruh, you're cheating. You're cheating. That's the... Really? You just gonna pick your daughter's name like that? You're just gonna pick your daughter's name for the word of the... Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. That is exactly what I'm gonna do. And that's what I did. And you know what? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Seriously. Who wouldn't? I thought of so many other words throughout this process, and it kept coming back to Parker. She's at the top of my list. It was a no-brainer. It didn't take any thought at all. And part of me didn't even want to pick it for some weird reason. I'm just like, you know what? That's too easy. Why is this coming to me so easy? And I just told myself, don't overthink it. All right? Don't overthink it. This is one word for 1 year, but it's a very meaningful and very powerful word. Next year, I'll be able to come up with another one. But for right now, this is the most important thing to me. This is what I'm going to go throughout my year with. And it is what it is. It is what it is. So if you have a word for the year, let me know in the comments. If you've ever done a word for the year, let me know, because this is my first time doing it. And like I said, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really good motivation. I think it's a really good tool to help guide you throughout. So whenever you feel lost, I know for a fact it's going to be super easy for me, because all I got to do is look at my phone. I got a million pictures of my daughter. All I got to do is go in the house. My daughter's in the house. I go in my room. Her daycare is right in there. Like, I'm going to have constant reminders. I'm going to have constant reminders of why I'm doing what I'm doing this year. And overwhelmed, y'all. Overwhelmed. So, like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Last but not least, leave me a comment. Let me know what your word for the year is. And let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation down in them comments. I go by the name of Q, and like I always say, if Q can make it happen, you can make it happen. I'll holler at y'all next video. Peace. What you doing? No, her.